University of Virginia in March 1825 created UVA to be an academical village. In his plans for the university, he said, the whole arranged around an open square of grass and trees would make it what should be in fact an academical village. Still see his university as that. In fact, Jefferson would be more than pleased with how the university has kept his ideologies and his academic village alive. The historic lawn at UVA is still a staple at the university. Surprisingly, the main idea between the academical village of students and professors living on the lawn. The design for the academical village that Jefferson had is also used today, with 9 pavilions with dorms attached between the pavilions. I had a class in Pavilion 7 last semester and was surprised to find accomplished professors still reside in those pavilions today, living amongst the most accomplished students on the lawn. Jefferson said, large houses are ugly, inconvenient, exposed to the accident of fire, and bad in cases of infection. A plain small house for the school and lodging of each professor is best. This shows Jefferson's original idea of having small houses for professors and students to reside is still used today, as the pavilions are not that large. Jefferson attended William and Mary, whereas most colleges, a chapel was at the head of the university. Most universities were centered around a chapel and religion, but Jefferson did not want this for his university. He wanted it to be focused on the sciences and wanted a library in the center and at the head of his university. This library, designed after the Roman Pantheon known as the Rotunda, has become the most notable symbol at the University of Virginia. Although it is not a modern-day library and more of a historical landmark, it is still a staple of the academical village and has remained the head of this village through all these years. In 1895, there was a fire at the Rotunda that altered the evolution of the academical village. The fire destroyed the Rotunda, but the students saved the marble statue of Jefferson that is still held in the Rotunda today. It is incredible to think that students would risk their own lives to save a statue of Jefferson, and it just shows how far they would go to preserve his academical village and his ideologies that he used to found the university. Professors are very welcoming at UVA, and there are plenty of opportunities for students to get to know professors, such as take your professor to lunch, where the university offers to pay for a lunch if a student agrees to ask their professor to go eat. Just this semester, my USM teacher took the class to dinner and paid for the meals. Jefferson's idea of students and teachers communicating often is still very alive. Another key to Jefferson's idea of an academical village is the idea of shared learning infusing daily life. My experience at UVA has been a great representation of this Jefferson ideal. Every day I see students looking to share knowledge and learn from other students. UVA is one of the most well-balanced schools this year. Some other traditions at UVA have direct relation to Jefferson. The idea of calling students first years, second years, and so on is because learning never ends. The students have adopted the idea as older people are still learning, and Jefferson believed this when he founded the university. UVA just provided the foundation for the learning as people grow older. The school and the students are very well-rounded. The students enjoy learning, going to sports games, and having fun. The students are just as unique today as the first 125 students that were admitted to live on the lawn in March 1825. The university has grown over the years, but UVA still harvests the ideas that Jefferson wanted it to have from its origin. 97.5% of first years at UVA return for their second years, and UVA boasts some of the highest graduation rates. This shows how much the students love learning at UVA. This shows that shared learning is infused in daily life and how much the students love the university and love to learn. The university has undergone many renovations and changes since the original founding at the university. Cook, Rouse, and Cabell Halls closed off the once open lawn to the Blue Ridge Mountains, and some say the changes do not foster Jefferson's ideal for an academical village. However, these changes are completely necessary for the rising number of students entering the school and the need to educate all of them. Each May, graduation is held on the lawn, and it continues to this day. The ceremony represents the end of the long journey at the university, and it ends where it began, as days on the lawn and orientation were two of the first things that first years must do, and they both occur on the lawn. The village is still a centerpiece in the heart of UVA. The new South Lawn project has created scrutiny at UVA. This project provides for the renovation of New Cabell Hall, and the lawn will be extended via a bridge over Jefferson Park Avenue. These changes may not have occurred with Jefferson leading the university. However, again, growth and change is necessary to keep the university supporting all of its students. The South Lawn project are not the only renovations going on at the university. Tons of changes to dorms and different building complexes has cause for concern with the direction that the university is headed. However, as technology changes, renovations are needed to stay modern and updated with other universities. As important as it is to keep Jefferson in mind, you have to realize that you can't always live in the past. There are two more factors in the reason UVA is still an academical village. The first are the libraries. As UVA was originally founded with a library at its head, maybe not to the extent anymore, but libraries are still the center of education. It's not uncommon to hear students pulling all-nighters at Clemens Library, and students at this university love to learn and spend tons of time there. The second is the honor code at UVA. Student self-governance and the honor code show how much the students want to be honest and instill trustworthiness for the students at UVA. They are following Jefferson's ideals and virtues that he had in creating the university. All of the traditions and ideals that the unique students at UVA still respect and use today show the respect that they had for Jefferson and what he wanted in his university. Whether it was shown in the 1895 Rotunda fire or the students fighting to instill honor at all costs, the academical village at UVA has stayed so familiar for a very long time. The idea of the academical village has been discussed for hundreds of years, and although the university has encountered tons of changes, it is still a direct representation of the academical village that Jefferson planned for his university. The lawn, the rotunda, and shared ideals of Jefferson all display this today.